Uh, Welcome to my class. Today, in the second part of this chapters, chapter 2 of the political chapters, so I'll be talking about. Yesterday I have talked about sovereignty, then followed by socialist and a secular. So, in the secular area, I have talked about that how this we have like given the secularism and how this country in India, especially how these religions are actually followed and how it is propagated by the different communities. And certain interference also is seen in this country, especially when there is a certain group of people are actually going and like dominating the other community. So we can see some cases here in India. So secularism is a part of the it is not followed the state religion, and here secularism is we are not allowed to practice any of the religions. But since our India is a diverse country, it means a diverse cultures invaded, and we have got so many people from the different parts of the world, and also we have got varieties of the cultures are actually existing here. So due to that, this particular secularism is here, even though it is a given secularism, but then everyone can profess, propagate, preach. These are their motives actually given here. So the country is providing the secularism in the sense that the country the country should not be in the position that people should go against any of the things that is happening in the country. So suppose any type of a development or any type of a hindrance is created by the people due to the religion, then the government can ban them, the government can punish them. So that is we have to understand in the secular country. Next we have got democratic republic. Now what do we understand by the democratic republic? In the previous chapters we have already talked about that how this a person who is reaching the age of 18, and then he gets the a kind of a voting right. It means he's enrolled, and then he is getting the voting right. At the same time, he can be also a person who can contest the vote also. So here no one can preventing him from doing so. So therefore, people here are actually free to elect their representatives and to form government and run the government. And also these representatives are actually accountable to some extent to especially the general masses, and then for each of their actions that is happening in the society or in the country. So thus the power remains in the hands of the people of the country. So for example, when we talk about the democratic republic, here democratic republic is the meaning is like this, that we elect the government. It means we select, we it is our choice, and we make these things to happen. So therefore here the people's choice is there. So this is one of the good advantage from the people's side. So therefore once he is selected, once he is elected, then he is actually accountable for the people what they are doing in the country. So today for example we have the chief ministers or prime ministers. These are all actually accountable for the people's development, people's disadvantage, marriage, demarriage, everywhere. So therefore it is like that. So being a republic means we have to adopt a system of electing the representatives instead of being governed by a hereditary. So you can't see in the ministers are here in the hereditary form. So that is actually one of the a good advantage that we have got. And hereditary area, we can see that a father prime minister, then his son also has to become the prime minister, and then his next generation also has to become the prime minister or chief minister, whatever it is. So such kind of systems are actually considered hereditary. Hereditary in a democratic republic, it is not at all suitable, not at all required here. And perhaps such kind of government will be not encouraged here. So that is we can think of. Next we have the justice. Now you see in our country India, the constitution has given us the different provisions, and providing us some kind of justice, especially on the area of like social, economic, and then political. So here in this three category justice we will be receiving here. So let us know about the social justice. Now what is the social justice? Now when we talk about the social justice, actually it prohibits discrimination. Now we know in India, in very often in different parts of the our country, India especially, there is a lot of discrimination is taking place, especially in the area of like religion, in the area of like worshipping, in the area of like your conduct, especially in your profession, your work activity, and your areas. So such kind of areas you can see that discrimination is very often is taking place, and as a result people are actually day by day people are becoming worse and worse and behaving that way. So I think this area how the government is looking seriously, and then trying to give the justice in the society. So that's why here society is actually based on the caste, class, and gender, religion, and place of birth. So in this area how the government is having an eye on, and then how the government is actually trying to prevent it, try to make it understand, to make it run smoothly. So that depends upon the government. Second is economic justice. Now for example, whatever area you belong to, whatever like caste and class or religion you belong to, but you have the right to do your profession, you have the right to your job to be done in some other state, you have the right to like earn, to set the factory, to set the industry. So these are a few things that we have to understand. So it means the government must ensure fair distribution of wealth by providing equal opportunity for everyone else, whether it is a like a Dalits or rich or Brahmins or like Vaishyas, all these areas. So it means equal opportunities should give, so that the development will be taking shape in the country, and a government should along with this opportunity or development, government should have the a kind of like a assistance, a kind of like a aid should be provided, okay, especially to the elderly, then you can see the children, unemployment, and marginalized sections of the society, so that people can enjoy this economic justice in the country. Next we have the political justice. Now what do you understand by this political justice? Now when we talk about the political justice, it means every citizen is free to participate in election by providing or by voting, or like contesting the elections, and provided they should follow the certain criteria that is provided by the government. So it means a person has the right here, once he is reaching the age of 18, it means he is able to vote, and also he can contest the election event, and here no one can prevent them. So it is the right full like things to be done by the citizens of our country. Next we have got the liberty. Now what do we understand actually liberty? Now since I have already asked you in a different questions like this, so liberty, now suppose you are given the liberty of driving the car and all, and then what you are going to do that? So it means liberty doesn't mean that you will be smashing and destroying the others, hurting the others by your freedom that is actually given to you. Now freedom means what type of freedom we supposed to enjoy in fact. So freedom is what, like without hurting others, without making the some sort of like a problem to others, we are actually have to follow the freedom. Now freedom means we responsible freedom means the responsibility should be there to think of all these areas. So it means the Constitution of India has provided us the six like basic rights, and along with the six basic rights we have got also the fundamental rights, and these fundamental rights and six rights are actually we need to follow up according to the given opportunity of situation. Now you see, all the freedom perhaps we may not be able to enjoy in certain times, especially when the country is in the emergency cases. Now suppose even though we have got given the freedom, there are freedom are there through which we are enjoying, but suppose there is an emergency, then you can't go and enjoy your freedom, because at that time your freedom will be stopped, your freedom will be snatched by the another like a phase of the government's rule. So that's why in spite of having this, we can enjoy the liberty, some of them. So through these rights, the citizens have been given the freedom of think, express their views, and follow the faith and a religion of their own choice. So therefore, liberty is given to choose, to express, to explain, and to follow the faith that we belong to, and follow the religion that we belong to, and no one can interfere in this matter. So that is about that. So liberty. Next we have the equality. Now when we talk about the equality in the previous chapters, we have seen that there is some sort of like a discrimination between the male and female. You know, sometimes a male part, considering in India the most intelligent, and then however the woman is intelligent and smart and having a lot of degree, but then the salary is not given to the woman or lady equally as the boys are getting. So therefore that is not actually considering the equality of the country's the statement. So I think when we talk about the equality, it means the different areas, different situations, the women also should be given the equality, so that the country will not face the problem. Today, for example, this kind of inequality are there, therefore the country is under the progress. It is not progressing faster, because we very often we prevent the other sections of the people from going ahead. Okay, so that is we have to understand. So equality has been outlined as the fundamental rights of the citizens of the country, especially India, and this right actually ensures equal opportunities, for which are the areas like education, employment, and then also health to all the citizens. Now in this previous chapters we have already talked that in the healthcare area, especially when we look at the women and lady are not given, it means that their proper nutrition are not provided in the society, in the hospital even. So that's why many of the women are actually a victim of getting the very dangerous sickness sometimes, so not given the due care on that. So therefore we have to think of that. So here so citizens, and which can allow them to realize their full potential and lead them on a path to development. So the right prohibits discrimination on the grounds of the caste, class, gender, religion, place of birth, which may hinder the development of the citizens. So we know that these are the areas actually very often the society actually focusing more, especially like a area of caste system. So we have this caste rigidity, especially in India. We have divided into 4 castes, and apart from this 4 castes, again the 3 or 4 castes again have been like there through which the societies are actually deprived of the different opportunities given by the governments, and most of the opportunities are actually captured by the powerful and the high class people. So that is the thing we can see in the country India. So therefore this caste discrimination is one of the hindrance for the society, so that has to be taken care seriously. And in the area of like class, gender, religion, place of birth, these are the also part of the our discussion. So again, also every citizen of the country is equal in the eyes of law. Now before the law, no one is actually is higher. It means before law, male and female all are actually equal. Whether you are ministers, whether you are governor, whether you are a president, you also are actually accountable for that. You also are part of the law. So therefore, all citizens are also protected by the law of the land, which means that they are free to move the court in case of violation of their fundamental rights. So when your fundamental rights is violated, then you have the right to go to the court for the clarity, for the protection, for the your justice. Okay, so that is how we can think of. So that's why the Constitution of India is this particular equality, the term equality has given clearly and explaining it to us clearly to understand better about the equality. So equality doesn't mean that we can make the girl aside, woman aside, lady aside. Okay, so this is all we have to take seriously. Next, the point is about the fraternity. Now, what do we understand by the fraternity? The word fraternity, in fact, is a kind of like a brotherhood, sisterhood. It means we, in spite of diverse cultures that we belong to, diverse religion, linguistic cultures, linguistic way of behavior, then a varieties of faith that we have got, and yet we all of us actually have to behave as we are all actually belong to country India. So none of us actually belong to other foreign country. So we belong to India. Therefore, our behavior, our conduct, our disciplines are actually should be like Indians. So that is we have to think of. So India is known as it's a unity in diversity. So that is we have to understand. And in line with the same thought, the Constitution of India aims at promoting fellow feeling among the citizens and ending the separatist tendencies. It means we should not be too much of behave as a separate members from the society. So we all actually belong to the same society. And then it actually aims to achieve fraternity, that is a brotherhood in the country, by respecting the rights and dignity of all the individuals. So today, for example, you and me, when we talk about the fraternity, it may say I need to have the respect for you. I need to show my regard for you. It's not that you belong to lower, so I should not respect you. It means respect and regard should be given dignity, because every person has got the dignity. Every person has got their ways of living. So every person has got the right to live happily, and to dignity should be maintained here. So therefore, the dignity and the rights are actually violated by any individual or institution in the country has to be given the important eyes to prevent such kind of things to occur again. So therefore, the provisions enshrined in the Constitution of India are rooted, even though it is rooted, whatever we are talking about, these are things are actually rooted, and yet we can find that there are people are violating. It means the rules are there, regulations are there, and yet these rules and regulations are actually not rigid, not strong, unlike the other country. When we talk about the other country like Kuwait, Dubai, rules and regulations are very strong and very strict. So whenever a person is committing any sort of crime, they are on the spot given the punishment, and that's why the crime rate is very little over there. So such kind of things are not happening here. Here we get a person is actually happy to act as a criminal. Here we can see that a person is so much encouraging to do some kind of crime to commit. So that is what we can see here in a country. So this means that apart from the basic structure, there is the ideas enshrined in the preamble and the provisions related to it. It is amendable to cater to the changing needs of the society. So this is another headache we have got, that whatever the things are disliked, not liked, and hurting sentiments of the religion, sentiments of the class and caste, then that has to be removed, and that has to be amended, that has to be changed. So these are the things that actually we can find in the society. So regarding all this one, especially the right that we have got, in the next chapter I will talk about more clearly, so that you will be understanding about it very much clearly, that and you will have the better ideas. So students, this particular chapters, especially the Constitution of India, you need to read once again, and you must understand about how this procedure has taken about the formatting the constitution, and then you also should know how this constituent assembly actually formed, and then this drafting committee also start, and then how this committee actually led the things to happen, and today we have got the a better constitution, a longest constitution. So and also we need to know about the aims and objectives of the constitution in our country. So look at this all, and then you read properly, enjoy this reading, and then make the some short note on the different topics, and then you prepare yourself for the exam. So thank you, and I have a nice day.